I don't mean to be a pest, but it's probably not a good idea for you to be waiting here on your own. She gazed at him, as if trying to discern whether or not he was simply being kind, or maybe had ulterior motives. Then she smiled in a faintly regretful sort of way.
It's okay. I'm not on my own. My boyfriend's with me.
Oh, right. Drayton took a step backwards. That explained things a little. Not that he could see any boyfriend in the immediate proximity. Gone to find a garage, has he? I mean, I can pick him up on the way, give him a ride.
No, it's all right. But thanks anyway.
At 40 years old, Drayton was experienced enough to know when somebody was trying to get rid of him. She was being awfully polite about it, but she clearly didn't want him around. And perhaps for that reason, plus of course his natural-born stubbornness, he felt even less prepared to leave. What's actually happened here, love?
We came off the road.
Is your boyfriend hurt, maybe?
No.
Her smile had now faded, to be replaced by something else, a blankness of expression, which only thinly concealed distress. It wasn't as if she was in serious trouble. He could tell that much, but she clearly had a problem and was putting on a brave face, trying to cover it.
If you must know,
she finally said, her resolve cracking.
He's gone after the man.
Man? She stood upright from the tree. Suddenly she looked tired, stressed.
Someone ran across the road right in front of us. We swerved to avoid him.
And your boyfriend's chased after him?
Yeah.
She half smiled again.
Andy's like that. Gets cross easily.
Drayton eyed the encircling woodland. The shades of evening were lengthening, through its verdant depths, even as he watched. Probably not a smart move to go chasing some bloke. Not with no one else around to help. The girl shrugged.
You can't tell Andy things like that.
Drayton got the impression that she'd already tried to, but had failed.
I think it's probably best if you just go,
the girl added.
Really, it is.
Drayton wasn't normally given to helping people. He wouldn't have called himself a misanthrope, but the recent end of his 15-year marriage had soured him immeasurably, and the injustice of Sandra's decision to deny him access to the kids, now ratified by court order, had just about extinguished the last flicker of goodwill he'd felt towards the rest of mankind. However, there was something about this girl that moved him. It wasn't simply that she was good-looking. It was her predicament. Stuck all the way out here, she was incredibly vulnerable, far more so than even she might realize. And from what Drayton had heard, this Andy, whoever he actually was, might only add to the problem. Drayton took the mobile from his jeans pocket. Can I at least call someone for you? Again she shook her head.
It's all right. Honestly, it is.
But I don't like leaving you stranded. Barnard Castle's the nearest town, and that's a good 20 minutes' drive from here. He glanced at his watch, seeing that the time wasn't far off 8 o'clock. Well, it's getting late, too. I mean, there may be nobody else along this road all night. That was something she might not realize, he decided, especially if she wasn't native to the region, which he suspected she wasn't. This was the A66, the Old North Road, as it used to be called. For centuries, it had linked the former administrative capitals of Penrith and Durham, separated from each other by 50 miles of trackless moor and rugged woodland. But it was now defunct, thanks largely to the motorway networks built over the last 40 years. He himself had only happened to come along it because he wanted to call in at the remote ruin that was Laxholm Abbey. The girl, meanwhile, was now looking at him in a faintly hopeful way.
Could he help me?
She was possibly wondering. Did he, this unkempt stranger who was nearly 20 years her senior, have what it took to resolve her problem? At length she decided,
I honestly think it's better if you just go.
Perhaps I should wait till your boyfriend gets back.
That really isn't a good idea.
What's this fucking guy's problem? Came a sudden aggressive voice.